Ever notice how a narcissist treats you differently once you stop reacting? There's a shift, a silence. Here's what's really happening. At first, they'll test you. Little digs, twisted comments, waiting for you to defend yourself, to explain, to chase their approval. But when you don't, when you just observe, something changes in their eyes. They realize you're not playing the game anymore. See, narcissists need your emotional reaction like oxygen. Your anger feeds their sense of power. Your tears validate their control. Your silence? That terrifies them. Because silence means you're thinking, analyzing, seeing the pattern. And the moment you see the pattern, you become dangerous. Now watch what happens next. They'll try a different approach. Suddenly, they're nicer, almost vulnerable. They'll share a fake weakness, hoping you'll lower your guard. This is called hoovering, pulling you back in with false intimacy. But if you stay calm, if you remain emotionally neutral, they start to panic. You'll notice them studying you more carefully, watching your face for cracks, testing new buttons to push. It's like watching a hacker realize the firewall just got upgraded. Here's the truth they don't want you to know. A narcissist can only manipulate someone who still needs their validation. The second you stop seeking their approval, their power evaporates. You become a mirror instead of a supply source. And narcissists hate mirrors. So they'll do something predictable. They'll either rage or retreat. The rage is obvious. Anger, accusations, gaslighting on steroids. They'll try to make you feel crazy for being calm. That's desperation. But the retreat? That's more interesting. They'll suddenly go cold, distant. They might even discard you without explanation. And here's the twist. That's not rejection. That's surrender. They've realized you're no longer controllable, so they're cutting their losses. Think about it. When you were easier to manipulate, they couldn't get enough of you. Now that you've built emotional armor, suddenly you're too difficult or too cold. Translation, you're too aware. And awareness is kryptonite to a narcissist. But here's where it gets even deeper. Once you reach this level of emotional independence, you'll start noticing other narcissists avoiding you too. It's like you're sending out a frequency they can detect. They sense you've been inoculated. You've developed what psychologists call psychological immunity. You recognize the tactics before they land. The love bombing feels hollow. The guilt trips bounce off. The silent treatment becomes peaceful. This is when you've truly won, not by defeating them, but by becoming unaffected. Now, they might try one last move. They'll watch you thrive without them and attempt a grand return. Expect a dramatic apology, a confession, maybe even tears. They'll say they've changed, that they've been reflecting, that they finally understand what they lost. Don't fall for it. This isn't growth, it's strategy. They're not coming back because they've changed. They're coming back because watching you move on without them is unbearable to their ego. Your peace became their poison. Here's what most people don't understand. Becoming too dangerous to manipulate isn't about being cold or cruel. It's about being sovereign. It's about owning your emotional real estate so completely that no one can squat there without permission. You're not shutting people out. You're just charging rent now. And narcissists never pay rent. They expect free residence. So when they realize you're no longer free real estate, when they see you've installed locks, cameras, and a security system, they move on to easier targets. And that's not your loss. That's your upgrade. The final stage is the smear campaign. When they can't control you, they'll try to control how others see you. Suddenly, you're the villain in their story. You're cold, unfeeling, maybe even narcissistic yourself. Let them talk. People who know you will see through it. People who don't, they weren't your people anyway. And the narcissist? They're just advertising their own failure to anyone who'll listen. Remember this. A narcissist can only destroy your reputation with people who share their level of discernment. And those aren't the people you need in your life anyway. You've become dangerous because you stopped being desperate. You stopped needing closure, answers, or the last word. You built a life so fulfilling that their absence became irrelevant. That's the ultimate power move, not revenge, but indifference. And indifference? That's the one thing a narcissist can never recover from. Have you experienced this shift with a narcissist in your life? How did they react when they realized they couldn't control you anymore? Share your story in the comments. Want more psychological armor against manipulation? Follow for content that makes you untouchable.